The following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television, WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. The baseball season is in full swing, and here to break down the latest, we have two J's, two A's, and an S. We have Anthony, Joe, Jimmy, and Antonio. Welcome back, Joe, by the way.
Appreciate that more.
To start this off, other than you get out of here, the Yankee fans on this desk, I think we were hurt before the season started. Aaron Judge did not sign the contract extension that the Yankees offered him. The contract would have been $217 million. The extension would have been for 7 years, $30.5 million, and it would have been a $230 million deal. Anthony, all rise. Will he still be a Yankee in 2023?
So this is a loaded question. We're actually going to take a look at Aaron Judge's career stats in Pinstripes, and they are a doozy. He has been a staple of this Yankee lineup for, 5 years?
Just 17, yes.
He's played 585 games. He's hitting .276. He has an on-base of .385, 159 home runs, and a .936 OPS. Just let that sink in of how good those hitting stats are. And the Yankees offered him a $213.5 million deal over the next 7 years following this season. He declined it, so he's going to bet on himself. But unfortunately, no matter what happens, the Yankees refused to sign anyone this offseason in hopes of signing Aaron Judge to that extension. They were unable to sign him. I feel like that's an L for the Yankees. Once you say you're not going to sign anyone in hopes of signing Judge, you got to get that contract done. They didn't. A lot of Yankee fans are disappointed.
Jimmy, are you disappointed?
Well, in slight defense of the Yankees, I don't think they were that interested in guys like Correa and Seager. I know we've been on the record saying we weren't really that interested. They think they do believe in IKF. But back to Judge, I am disappointed. I do expect him to get something done at some point. Like Anthony said, he is betting on himself, and you can't blame him. When he's been healthy, 2 top 5 MVP finishes. Arguably could have went to him in 2017 because Altuve cheated. We all know what happened there. But he's a staple of his team. He's made publicly he wants to be back. The organization wants him back. Made him a fair offer, I think, most people can agree to. So he just wants a little bit extra, and he's going to have to play to deserve it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of people betting on themselves. So if he could bet on himself to get more money, all power to him. But if he struggles this year, and he's struggled so far to start the season, gentlemen, that might hinder him in getting some more money, Joe. Do you think if he has a down year, he won't see the same kind of money?
Well, and they say it goes back to what Jimmy Walker was saying. He's taking a big bet on himself. Listen, he's going to turn 30 this year, and he's looking for more years, actually, than the 7-year offer that the Yankees gave him. And I thought it was a great contract for him, to stay with the Yankees, finish off his career there. But will Judge come back? It's really on the tip right now. We're not quite sure, because if he has a great year, he might go somewhere else for more money and more years.
Yeah. Antonio?
I am going to be disappointed he leaves, but I'm not going to, you know what? Why don't we get a guy from Washington? Washington's collapsing. They're nowhere. Why don't we sign Juan Soto? He's younger. If Judge hasn't played a full season for us in a while, so if you can get Juan Soto from the Nationals, I give him that extension too.
That's interesting. Juan Soto has put it out there that he kind of doesn't want to stay.
They're not getting Juan Soto, though. They didn't sign Correa to a 3-year deal. They're not getting Juan Soto.
It is a major haul. But let's go from a big market team to a smaller market team. Colorado Rockies, very interesting. They have started the season 8-4, Joe. Is this team contenders or are they pretenders?
Well, some more. There's nothing like hitting a ball in high altitude at Coors Field in beautiful Denver, Colorado. We take a look at the Rockies stats right here. I mean, listen, they're pretenders at the end of the day. They're right
you
now.
You didn't even let us get there.
I know, but listen, they're 8-4 right now. Their batting average is .284. As a team, OBP is .349, 12 home runs in total, and they also got 3.86 ERA. Listen, they're in a tough division, NL West, with the Padres, Dodgers, Giants. It's very tough. Even though it's a hot start, I don't think they're going to be able to get it, especially playing those 3 teams around the whole entire season.
So you do think that this team is pretenders, Joe?
Oh, 100%. I mean, even though the addition of Chris Bryant and also C.J. Cron, a very hot start, I don't know if it's enough, especially that dismay of a front office is just not good.
Jimmy?
I mean, I look at Mile High. They're off to a rocky start pitching. I'm going to call them pretenders as well. You look at German Marquez. It's really the reliable ace for the last number of years. He is off to a shaky start. But they've had decent pitching all the way around. Like Joe said, C.J. Cron absolutely been tearing the cover with the ball. Chris Bryant seems to like being in Coors, saw him to get that new extension. But with that crowded NL West, I just don't see him being able to consistently put together consistent victories.
Anthony?
You know what? Sure. Rockies are contenders. I could see it. I mean, let's have a little bit of fun. They signed Chris Bryant. It shows they're actually trying to get something done now. They're trying to win. They just extended Kyle Freeland. They extended Antonio Senzatella. C.J. Cron's killing it this year. He leads the league in home runs. The Rockies actually lead the league in batting average. They knocked off the Dodgers for 2 out of 3 earlier to start the season. I'm not saying they're going to win the division. I'm not saying they're even going to come close to winning the division. But they might compete for a wild card.
You know who I think they'll be like? They'll be like the Mariners, how the Mariners were last year.
I think they have a shot to win like 80 games.
Right. All right. Antonio?
I think they're pretenders. They have no pitching, no relievers. They can hit the ball, but they're in a tough division. And even the wild card, I don't think they can get because the in the NL East, you're going to, I think, have 2 or 3 possible wild card teams. Do you think the Rockies are better than the Phillies or the Braves right now, or the Mets? I don't.
I'm in agreement. I don't want to be, Colorado. Y'all all right, but pretenders? Nah, I don't think so. Now, a team who's trying to be pretenders in the same division. Sal Mattacione was moved to San Diego. Last time we had a block, we talked about that and if he was going to be moved. Jimmy, with this move, what do we see? And I mean, Manaea, he's actually been pretty good. And take us through this trade, Jimmy.
Well, we're going to take a look at the trade and Sal Mattacia's stats on this season with the Padres. The Padres have shown an emphasis and a desire of wanting to win. They traded to the Athletics. The Padres received Manaea, Aaron Holiday. They sent over prospects Yorubel Angeles and Adrian Martinez. Sal Mattacia on the season got a 1.4 ERA, 19 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts. Don't be a math major, just a strikeout an inning. That's pretty solid. Opponent batting average well under 200. They're trying to build an elite rotation. We know how important playoff starting pitching is. Mike Clevenger when he gets healthy. Blake Snell starting off on the IL. Denelson Lamet, if you can get him back in roll. Darvish is off to a great start. The Padres are looking to contend long term, and this trade from Manaea will help them do that.
Yeah, and they're going to need to do that with Tatis being out for a little bit. So Anthony, and I know you're a big fan, so do you think this is going to, put them up from where they were last year? They didn't make the playoffs and they were supposed to.
No, yeah, and the Rockies, not the Rockies, I'm still on my Rockies soapbox, guys.
You did pick them.
The Padres have definitely made moves. They definitely want to compete this year. And Sal Mattacia was a guy that we took a look at a few weeks ago.
I think it's 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago of a guy that could get traded. And he got traded, and he's in a contract year, so he has incentive to pitch well. I think he's going to thrive in San Diego, which can be a pitcher's ballpark. I think he's going to have a good year.
Antonio, quickly.
We already saw it. His first start as a Padre, 7 no-hit innings. That's phenomenal. I think that, and they weren't bad last year. They just didn't have the pitching, and they had a lot of injuries. So that, I think, it gives them a step. They can compete for the division again this year.
Joe, quickly.
Well, listen, the Ace or Fire Sale team, they sold basically everybody. And competitive, too, in the AL West. But for Sal Mattacia to go to the Padres, their rotation is very strong now. And the way how guys are going to come back, especially when Tatis comes back from his injury, they're a very good team all around, pitching and hitting-wise and defensively.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen. It's April. We're not even 5% through the season. Let's get bold. Let's have some bold predictions. Antonio, we'll start with you. What is your bold prediction for the 2022
My bold prediction
season?
is Seattle hasn't made the playoffs in over 20 years. I don't have them just making the playoffs. I have them winning the division. They signed Robbie Wright as Cy Young, and their other pitcher, Logan Gilbert, has an ERA of under 1 right now. They also traded for Jesse Winker and Suarez, and they gave J.P. Crawford a contract extension. And they also have a young phenom, Julio Rodriguez, who's the future for Seattle. I think they can contend this year for that division.
Yeah, we just bought them up. Maybe the Rockies could be like them. And look, they won 90 games last year. We just missed the playoffs. There's 5 teams fighting for it. So they can make. I might agree with you on that one. Anthony, what you got?
So if you're in the Maryland area, get ready, because this year is going to suck if you're either an Orioles or a Nationals fan. We're going with Beltway brutality. The Orioles are awful. We know this. This isn't a surprise. The Nationals have nothing going on for them outside of Juan Soto. I think they're going to trade Josh Bell by the end of the year. Strasburg's still hurt. The Orioles are probably going to deal off Mancini. My prediction, both the Orioles and the Nationals are going to combine to lose 200 games. They're going to be really bad. And if you're like I said, if you're in the Maryland area, get your Juan Soto jersey and pay attention to nothing else, because it's not going to be fun.
Jimmy. I'm gonna say in the AL West, Antonio, but I'm gonna take a different team. The Angels, holy halos, guys. I think Mike Trout, our whole entire life, been defined of not being able to win a playoff series, largely due to the front office. But he's gonna hopefully be healthy now. Got a little hand injury. He'll be back soon. Shohei Ohtani, reigning MVP. Noah Syndergaard might be a comeback player of the year candidate. He's off to a great start. Look for Rendon to hopefully stay healthy for them. But I think whether it's a wild card game or a full series, this is the year the Angels finally can maybe get over the hump and help Mike Trout's legacy.
Joe, close out for the block.
Listen, you guys are all Yankee fans. We've seen a lot of parades on the Bronx, but how about a parade in Flushing, Queens, New York? The last time the Mets won a World Series was 1986. The last time they appeared in the World Series was in 2015 when they lost to the Kansas City Royals. However, with the Mets acquiring Starling Marte, Mark Canha, the pitching, Buck Showalter as the manager now, a veteran guy. There's so many, additions that the Mets created and to build around. And Lindor looking like his contract is worth for $334 million. And the way the Mets are so far, the first team to reach the 10 wins, and the way how they're in first place in a tough, NL East eventually when the season gets on, I think they have a shot to win the World Series if they can play to their highest level. But the Mets are known, though, however, to have monumental second half of the season. Terrible breakdown collapses. Yeah. So, but I think the Mets can do it all this year and win it.
I wouldn't like that, but my mother would, so whatever.
Listen, I need to see one
A
before I
bold
die.
prediction for a reason.
Yeah. My bold prediction. Everybody's down on Garrett Cole.
Oh.
He's going to finish top 3 in Cy Young. Mark my words. But as the baseball season opens and the basketball season is in playoff mode, our NBA crew will break down the latest on hardwood right after this here on WP Sports Desk.